Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all.
So, Grandmother told you it's time to grow up.
Ugh, I don't see why she made such a big fuss that I was late. It isn't as if I do it all the time. You may go now, Gemma.
Yes, miss.
Actually, I can understand Grandmother's objections.
You're supposed to be on my side.
I am. But as a lady, you are judged
By
by society standards.
I know. I know it's naive of me, but I wish we lived in a perfect world where money and birth meant nothing. A world where we could pursue our dreams and fall in love with a person rather than a title or fortune.
It doesn't have to be that way. But even if it was, isn't it about time that you thought about settling down?
What's wrong with wanting to pursue my dreams rather than be married to a man who will merely offer stability?
Don't you ever want to get married?
Yes, but I wanted to be with the sort of person who really loves me for who I am, who knows my most inward, deepest thoughts, the sort of person who wants to be around me all the time. Or, if they aren't, they're always thinking of me.
Oh, come now, we all can't be that lucky.
Why not? Why do we settle for less?
Sometimes I think women desire marriage so badly that they will put up with men's inconsistencies just to have the security and protection that comes with it.
I'd rather be single.
Caroline, we don't live in a perfect world. We have to marry if we want any chance of independence.
What do you mean independence? Being shackled to someone whom I do not love is not what I would consider independence at all.
It depends on what type of independence you're thinking of. That of pursuing your dreams, or that of running your own household. I know what you want. You want that knight in shining armor who will sweep you off your feet. Who's rich and handsome.
No, Natalie. He does not have to be rich so much.
Okay, who's somewhat rich and terribly handsome. Sounds like Mr. Charles Gregory?
What? Mr. Gregory?
Yes, that handsome, charming, and, might I add, somewhat rich Mr. Charles Gregory?
He's too conceited. Besides, why single out Mr. Gregory of all the eligible gentlemen of society?
Well, he has reserved 2 dances with you at the upcoming ball.
What? Why, how did he even come to know that? Wait. You invited him, didn't you?
Now, don't get upset. Grandmother's throwing the ball, and after all, one is supposed to invite guests.
Please tell me this isn't another scheme you and Grandmother hatched to have me blissfully wedded.
What's wrong with some good old-fashioned matchmaking? And besides, you need all the help you can get.
What? Am I that hopeless?
Well... My hair! You're hitting my hair!
Well, you should have thought of that before you hit me, Natalie.
Well, you deserve it.
I surrender! I surrender! My, this is quite a party. It seems the whole countryside is in attendance.
Indeed it does. Oh, look. There is Mr. Gregory dancing with that freckled Miss Mayweather. I heard she has just inherited £20,000 a year.
What a nice round figure. Seems to me they make quite a match.
Oh, please. You know very well that you and Mr. Gregory make twice as good a match.
Oh, cousin.
Oh, look, Mr. Gregory's coming this way.
Oh. Ouch.
Ah, good evening, Mr. Gregory. Let me guess, you're here to claim your dance.
That much I must admit is true, if Miss Hudson is willing.
Tell me, Mr. Gregory, do you enjoy a good ball?
About as well, but I do say there's a deal too much idle chatter. I prefer there to be more productive conversation.
And what do you constitute as more productive conversation?
One that does not pertain to gossip, lace, and engagements.
Ah. Then may I presume that you believe politics and business to be more fitting topics?
Precisely.
Then it is clear to me you believe women to be incapable of such intellect.
No, you misunderstand.
Mr. Gregory, you are somewhat of a mystery to me. And it seems others would agree. I've heard so many different accounts of you that I cannot make out your character. Some would even say you're proud.
It does not matter what people say. My most intimate friends would say otherwise.
Is that so?
Indeed. I hope time may afford me the opportunity to show you that character.
Out here, all alone? Dear me, I expected to find a man cooing your praise in your ear.
The only thing cooing in my ear, cousin, is the ringing of an alarming headache. Oh, thank you.
Tonight wasn't so bad, was it?
No, it was more pleasant than I had expected. Most of the gentlemen were tolerable, however boring, and my feet, thankfully, were not permanently crushed. But I find that Mr. Gregory puzzles me. I cannot seem to make him out. No, cousin, do not give me that look. Just because someone puzzles me does not mean that I am attracted to them.
Then you aren't attracted to him?
Well, I do not deny that I find him very agreeable in reference to his appearance. But I also surprisingly find that his temperament is not too proud at all.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Miss Hudson, your grandmother's carriage is waiting.
Good night, dear cousin. And don't forget, I have some more gentlemen I would like to introduce you to at tomorrow evening's ball.
Praise indeed.
Caroline, this is Mr. Francia. He is an accountant from Pendleton.
Oh, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Francia.
It's Francia.
Oh, my apologies. I did not...
It's quite all right. People always seem to mistake my last name. In fact, just last week, a counterman told me my last name sounded like French Squire. I had to correct him. Miss Hudson, it might interest you to know that the origins of my last name are actually French, although As far as I can trace back, none of my ancestors are actually French. Sometimes I wonder.
Mr. Franchia, I believe the dance is about to begin. Would you like to?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Shall we? Why on earth did you introduce us? He isn't my sort of man at all.
I never said he was. He had a fancy to be introduced to you, and I promised him a dance on your behalf. Mr. Franchia is a very well-to-do sort of man, and very well respected in society. I can only wonder why he is still unmarried.
Let's just hope for the best that you will introduce me to more appropriate gentlemen.
Like one of the romantic heroes from your books?
Precisely.